Hello, stamping friends. I'm Terri Hartley at Rustic Cards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Today, I have a card that uses designer series paper. And I don't know if you're like me or not, but I love designer series paper, and therefore I have quite a bit of designer series paper. So this is a way that you can use your designer series paper to make cards. This is a fun fold, and it's quick and easy. And I'm going to make a Christmas card and then show you another card from another stamp set that is not a Christmas card, but with the same layout. So let me turn the camera down. I have a couple of quick things to share with you, and then we will start stamping. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is that I am part of the online crafting trio, and we are having the 12 weeks of Christmas. So if you have not subscribed to my mailing list, make sure that you do that now, because you won't want to miss our online crafting trio. We're going to have 12 weeks of this Christmas series. It is exclusive to my email subscribers. And there's going to be 12 weeks of projects. They're all free, but you must subscribe to receive them. You're not going to find these on Facebook, my blog, or I'm not going to post them anywhere else. So make sure you subscribe and use the link down below in the description of this video where it says show more. And also share the email link to all your friends or family so they can subscribe too. And the first week newsletter is going to go out the week of September 19th. So sign up this week, and I don't know if you're watching the replay, maybe after September 19th, but this video that I'm posting is going to be posted on Monday the 19th. So sign up now so you don't miss out. Otherwise, if you sign up on week 3, let's say, then you're just going to get week 3 through week 12. So sooner you sign up, then you'll be hopefully receiving all 12. And you'll be receiving a video each week, plus a tutorial with directions and pictures and a supply list. So if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to me. One more thing, Stampin' Up! In September, they're having weekly deals, and these are the weekly deals that are going on right now through the 21st. We have the enamel effect basics, and they make like a little kind of like puff paint, and some silver ribbon, rose gold ribbon, masking paper, we all need that, and this perfectly penciled designer series paper. I really enjoy using this. And then there's some vellum, some layers, some embellishments, Eden dies, some craft treat boxes, and evening evergreen ribbon. Now, a little tip: on the 21st, that is the last day you can purchase the weekly deals. And the weekly deals is something that is a good add-on. So if you're going to put an order in during this week, then these are things that you can add on. But on the 21st, usually Stampin' Up! Also post the new items for the following week. And we just have one more week from the 22nd through the 28th for weekly deals. But there is one day where you can order from this week's deals plus next week deals. And that it should be on the 21st. Okay, hope that didn't sound too confusing and you followed me. Let's go ahead and start stamping. We are going to use the stamp set Regal Reindeer. And we have 2 different reindeers. And this does come as a bundle. And we're going to be using the reindeer dies along with the stamp set. We have a little rabbit. You have some snowflakes. And then there's a person, it's like a child holding an apple, pine trees, Merry Christmas, peace on earth, wishing you a wonderful season filled with all the good things that warm your heart and lift your spirit. And we have dies that will cut out all the images from the stamp set, plus some extra dies. We have an extra tree, which is really cute. We have an extra reindeer and like a little, I think a little fox. And then there's some other, maybe like a little present, and you can make, not sure. To me, this is snow. I use this as snow on a card. So it could be a pond, I guess, and another strip for snow. And a little scarf here. So you have some extra dies besides the dies that cut out all the images on our stamp set. I'm going to be using Designer Series paper, and I'm going to be using the Painted Christmas, and this is in the mini catalog, and this is a returning favorite. So this has been in a catalog before, and it is really Christmas colors and really pretty. And we are going to be using the pine cones today. And of course, it's two-sided. I'm going to bring in our Simply Score board, and just disregard where this is at. I just leave it there because it's where I use to score a lot of my card bases. I'm going to turn this around so you see that it has a stylus and it has a place for the stylus to fit. And there's also a little pocket up here that you can take out and store some things. The stylus, it has two ends. One is smaller and one is larger. And I think it's just a preference, which, some people like to use the smaller, some people like to use the larger. I'm going to bring in Designer Series paper, and this is 12 by 5.5. And we're going to do some scoring. We're going to score at 1 3/4. And you want to be careful that you do not press too hard, because the Designer Series paper is a little thinner than our cardstock. And then we're going to score at 4 3/4, and then 7 3/4, or 7 3/4, however you want to say that. And that's all the scoring. So just 3 scores. And this is the side that I want on the inside of my card. So I'm going to fold this. Take the bone folder. And then I'm going to fold this back. And then I'm going to fold this forward. So we will see a little bit of the branches here. So this is how our card is going to open. So this is just a really quick and easy fun fold. Here we have our card base already. I'm going to lay that aside, and then I'm going to bring in some basic white, and this is 2 3/4 by 4, and it is going to go on the outside of our card. We'll be using Basic Gray for ink, Real Red, Evening Evergreen, and Early Espresso. I'm going to start with the Basic Gray, and we're going to stamp our sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And then we're going to put this in the upper right-hand corner. And then we know now what we need to work with. Then I'm going to go to their Evening Evergreen. So we stamped our sentiment in Basic Gray. Now Evening Evergreen. I'm going to bring in our pine trees. I'm going to ink this up. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp our trees right here. Then I'll ink that up again. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and stamp this just a little bit lower on our card. There we go. So we're finished with the evening evergreen. And then we're going to bring in a scrap basic white to stamp our image. I'm using basic gray, bringing in the larger reindeer image. We'll go ahead and ink this up. And we are going to die cut this reindeer out, which is why I brought in the scrap paper. Actually, let's go ahead and move that aside, and let's bring in our front layer. I want to go ahead and add some tracks. So I'm going to add some tracks down here, but actually I think I will wait because we will want to place our reindeer first. I'm going to use Stampin' Blends to color the reindeer. I have light and dark Real Red Stampin' Blends, Crumb Cake, and Soft Succulent. And I'm also going to use Petal Pink for the antlers. And we will die cut this out. And I have another card to show you. And then I'm going to use light Real Red. And there's some little bells on his belt. And so I am just going to to color those. Just kind of put a little dot there with the Real Red. And on his, I think you call that a bridle. Can you tell I haven't really been around animals like reindeer or horses, so I don't know a lot about that. I wanted to make his hoofs with dark crumb cake, and then while we have we'll just go ahead and shade in the darker spots. That's already there for us. These are lines that are already there. So that'll be a little bit of a shading, and we'll just color his tail. And then we'll come back and color this with light crumb cake. But he has a blanket, so I'm going to use the light red. And we will just color in the blanket. And then I'm going to use Soft Succulent on the belts and things. And then we're going to come in with our light Soft Succulent, and you can just go right over that. Okay, let me finish this. I have finished the coloring. I went ahead and die cut out our reindeer, and now we are going to place the reindeer on our card and bring in our basic gray and do a little stamping of some tracks. So this is kind of like his footprint. So I'm going to put that right down there. And then we're going to pop him up on our card. But before we do that, we're going to do a little embossing. I'm going to bring in our Wintry 3D embossing folder. And these are, they have two. And this would work in the mini embossing as well as our larger embossing, our larger cut and emboss machine. And you have some pine branches, needles, and snowflakes. And we are going to use the snowflakes. So I'm going to go ahead and place this right in here. And I'll be right back. Okay, I've embossed this. And isn't that pretty with all the snowflakes? Now we're ready to pop up our reindeer. So I have the dimensionals on our reindeer. We're going to bring in some evening evergreen cardstock, and this is this is 3 by 4 and a 1/4. So this is just a 1/4 of an inch larger than our basic white. We're going to go ahead and add that together. And I'm going to bring in our liquid glue. Isn't that pretty on the back too? Okay, I opened a new bottle of liquid glue, so I need to be careful because sometimes when you have a brand new bottle, it wants to come out a little bit more than what you want it to. But the other one was empty. Okay, let's go ahead and add our basic white layer to our evening evergreen. And you can make this a little bit smaller. You could make the evening evergreen layer just 1/8 of an inch if you wanted to. But I'm making mine 1/4 of an inch larger than the basic white. And now we'll take off our little tops of our reindeer. And then we'll add an inside layer to our card. And add some embellishments, and our card will come together. And then I'm going to place it right on top of those tracks. And you could certainly add a rabbit or the child in here. You could add something extra. I'm just going to make this the main focal point. So I'm going to lay that aside and bring in basic white for our inside card. And this is measured 4 by 5 inches. And I've already stamped, wishing you a wonderful season filled with all the good things that warm your heart and lift your spirit. And this is an image in the stamp set, and I've used Real Red, and this is going to go right inside of our card. So I'm going to go ahead and add some liquid glue and place it right inside our card. Get it lined up the best I can, make it even. And now we're ready to add our layer, our focal point on the top. And of course, I just want to add the adhesive on the left-hand side so we can open our card. So I'm going to kind of get it centered. I'm going to turn it over this way and put my finger there. And then I know I want to add glue right in here. And I want to be careful I don't get too much. And Make sure we get it straight. And I'm trying to eye it, make sure I have about the same amount of space at the top as I do at the bottom. I don't know about you, but sometimes I have to hold the card up to my face and my eyes to make sure that I have it right, rather than just looking straight down at it. So here is our card. We're going to add some embellishments, of course. And I think we will add the real red. And I'm going to bring in my Take Your Pick tool, because this really is helpful to pick up. I'm using the putty end. You can use either end. I'm going to place one right there, one right up here, and then on his antler, I didn't color that because I knew that I was going to add a gem right there under his antler. Now don't forget, I have one more card to show you. So this is our fun fold. The card base is using Designer Series paper, Peace on Earth. And this would be a really quick and easy card if you wanted to make multiples of this card. It would be quick and easy. Now let me show you the same layout, only I use Simply Succulent. The next card I'm going to show you, I use Simply Succulents, and this is the one I made for my my prototype. And here it is. I made Thanks, and I just decided to do the focal point as the flower pot, and I just colored one of the succulents. And I use the soft succulent, the in color gems, and then the kind of fall colors inside. You make the ordinary extraordinary, and I went ahead and stamped and die cut out one of the smaller flowers in the stamp set. So here are the two cards. Get these inks out of the way so you can see the two cards. And I would love to know which one that you liked. So leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear in the comments which card you like the best. The one we made today using the stamp set Regal Reindeer, or the card that I showed you using Simply Succulents. Please consider subscribing by clicking that subscribe button. And if you hit that bell, you'll be notified when I upload videos. And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter. It's in the description below, so you can take advantage of the online crafting trio's 12 weeks of Christmas. And that is starting this week. So you don't want to miss out on any of the 12 weeks of Christmas. It's free, and it's exclusive to my newsletter subscribers. Again, I'm Terri Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Have a blessed week.